Well, good evening and welcome to the Caithness Amateur Dramantics Society. Tonight I'm going to be tasting something a little bit special. It's the Bruichladdich Black Arts, Black Art, 1990 edition. Edition 6.1, 26-year-old, bottled at 46.9%. Uh, the Black Art line is a series of whiskies from Bruichladdich where an uncharacteristic lack of information is the feature. The types of casks that the spirit was aged in are top secret. Allegedly, no one knows the exact cask types that were used other than the master distiller himself, Adam Hannett. Leave it to Bruichladdich to make a lack of information the primary factor, a testament to their level of transparency compared to many other distilleries in the industry. Most of the other details are graciously provided to the consumer with little to no trouble. And if you buy a bottle of Bruichladdich from the shop, the supermarket, or from a whiskey store, they'll have a barcode on them. If you scan that barcode, you'll be able to find out the types of casks used, the barley, the farms the barley came from, the age of the whiskey that's gone into the makeup of that single malt. Not with this one. And the packaging of this one begs to be commented on as well. Too often, the presentation for older luxury whiskies is gaudy and over the top. It's all swiveling doors, velvet inlays, fancy locks, little pamphlets or booklets that offer the most generalized of information, and a pitiful overuse of the words finest and hand-picked. This is not the case here. Bruichladdich are showing the rest of the industry up in the packaging game here. Black Art 6.1 is an older single malt and priced as a luxury product compared to the rest of Bruichladdich's core range. However, the packaging manages to be both intriguing and inexpensive simultaneously. No pamphlets, no intricate boxes, no pedestals. A simple aluminium canister painted black with a bottle of whiskey inside is all that's present here. The canister is embossed at the top with the Black Art. And a small paragraph of gobbledygook can be found here on the back, which I admittedly find charming but unnecessary. The bottle itself is painted matte black and just looks so incredibly sleek and modern. It's what I imagine a Jaguar F-Type would resemble if it turned into a whiskey bottle. The main attraction is the six-pointed star inlaid with red lines and a different alchemical symbol at 5 of its points, while the bottle itself is missing the symbol at the topmost point, and here, of course. For those of you familiar with alchemy and its imagery, these hieroglyphics are denoted as Luna, the crescent moon representing silver, Mutatio or Mercury at the bottom here, Ignis, the upright triangle here, which represents elemental fire, and Aqua, the everted triangle with a horizontal line bisecting the lower point, representing elemental earth, though one would think water. And lastly, Aqua Vitae, which of course is not present on the canister. Sorry, it is present on the canister, but not on the bottle. And that represents water of life, or spirit of wine, known to us mortals as concentrated ethanol. You can interpret these signs as the bare recipe needed to make whiskey itself. Edition 6.1 of the Black Art is both the oldest and most widely produced of the series, coming in at 26 years of age, and there were 18,000 bottles produced. This is expensive, but is it worth it? Well, it's unpeated, non-chill filtered, bottled at 46.9%, and contains no added colour, which is mercifully clearly labelled on the bottle, unchill filtered and colouring free. So theoretically we're off to a good start. That's enough foreplay. It's time to dive in. And just a note, I won't be adding water to this one, as I think it is as good as it gets. For a generous dram here. Lovely colour. So it's a lovely dark copper colour. I mean, fantastic tears on this. Let's try the nose. So we don't know the casking of this, but wow, there is some wine cask influence in this one. The initial whiff reminds me of icing sugar on top of a fruitcake. Vanilla and sugary sweetness. And berry fruits, just as they're being placed into the cake batter. And coming back in, those powerful and plentiful berries. Mainly blackberries, raspberries, and a little strawberry as well. And as it sits and opens, there's more citrus and tropical fruits that appear. Something like mango, passion fruit, grapefruit and blood oranges. There's a huge depth and richness on initial nosing. Roll the glass through your fingers to rouse the aromas and rich black charred oak with blackberry jam, dark chocolate, raisin, plum, elderberry and apple. And then you get notes of marzipan and lemon brown pie. And that gives the sweetness and tell of the Bruichladdich DNA working with the casks. And then you get cedar wood and brown sugar coming through as the whiskey opens. And then after a while, some strange earthy sweetness creeps in, like coconut covered dark chocolate with grated truffle overhead. And all the while, those berry notes from before stick around and keep popping into the forefront. I really like this nose. It is strong in the wine qualities. Obviously some wine casks in this. We don't know what they are. Let's try the mouth of this. They do say a second in the mouth for a year in the cask. I think it's rich, thick, and sweet. Green apples right off the bat. It's not overly tart or sour, it's sweeter than that. You get a sort of green apple and that candied sweetness. Plums and raisins alongside that green apple, but they're more in the background. The berry from the nose is present again on the palate as mostly blackberry, but more like blackberry jam rather than the raw fruit itself. And it eventually takes over the green apple flavour entirely. And then vanilla pudding and brown sugar come out as it sits on the tongue before that gives way to baking spices like ginger, cloves, and cinnamon. The richness and vitality of the oak and the fruit is astounding. The soft orchard fruit of the spirit comes through after it opens a little. And that sits beautifully alongside fragrant vanilla custard. And you sip again and you taste the dark fruits. Date, fig, raisin and chocolate, crystallized ginger and floral red rose. It's impossible to define as a particular style. It twists and changes constantly. Each layer revealed adds to the mystery of how this whiskey was created. There's layers of honeycomb, soft fruit, praline, tobacco, coconut, and a sublime texture that all tell of its class. And it ends on surprisingly soft notes of dark chocolate, hazelnuts, and there's a slight mintiness, mint caramel, and the smallest hit of tobacco, chocolate, apricot, pineapple, classic exotic fruits from well-aged Bruichladdich, all telling of the quality and balance of the oak and spirit. The oak speaks of its quality with brown sugar, ginger, ginger nut biscuits, toffee, orange scented caramel, and a velvet tobacco finish. There's creaminess throughout the entire experience with this whiskey, and you get that same milky vanilla creaminess that I get from many Bruichladdich expressions, and consider it to be one of the distillery's primary characteristics. So, this was a damn good drop of Bruichladdich, and I'm going to be reaching myself for a second pour shortly. The various fruity and dessert qualities all play nicely together, and the hints of earth, tobacco, and truffle add enough dimension to keep what seems to be wine and sherry influence from dominating the affair. The wine influence is quite strong, and that could be off putting if you aren't used to it or dislike that style of whiskey altogether. I'm curious about what exact wine cast went into the mix for this edition and what regions they came from. The price is a bit exorbitant, but I'm quite picky in that regard. And as a scientist by education, the idea of highly priced libations that are eventually filtered out through your kidneys and urinary tract has always seemed a little humorous to me. Bruichladdich Black Art 6.1 is very good, but only if you could find it at its manufacturer's recommended price. It's not so delicious that I'd share it with anyone, but it's worthy of being shared with only your closest friends and family that could appreciate it. It's certainly a perfect choice as a dessert dram for those yearly special occasions, like the winter holidays or birthdays, or when your football team is about to play in a final. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.